ICE has become the largest federal law enforcement agency for one reason only. Its charge is to make America white again. And I think that's really important for us to insist upon. This is not about violent criminals. This is not about safety. This is about trying to address demographic shifts, trying to address demographic shifts that disrupt a particular understanding or particular view of the American polity. And I think it's important for us to begin to report it in this way. It's not about Stephen Miller and his quota. It's not about Holman cosplaying Bull Connor. It's really about what is driving this immigration policy. And I think it's deeply, and I think I know, it's profoundly racist. And it's rooted in an ideology that's tied to, bound up with white nationalism. And you guys talked about this not too long ago. J.D. Vance gave us an ideological framing for it. And I think we need to begin to think about this immigration policy as they try to implement it in light of what it's really aiming to do. It's not about safety, guys.
It's not about safety. Yeah, it's not about safety. It's never been about safety, Andrea. I think the difference is it's not even that they're saying the quiet part out loud. I mean, there's nothing subtextual about this. They are saying we are now okay with racial profiling. And I think there are different iterations of the U.S. government where you would have had a government official saying that, and there would have actually been a check on that power. I think the thing that is hard to contend with right now, Andrea, is they may be sanctioning racial profiling. Who is going to come in then and hold them accountable?
It's a great point, because even though racial profiling has been permitted in border communities around the country for decades, there was always an accountability mechanism. One, it was built into the Department of Homeland Security itself. But one of the first things that this administration did was shut down the Office of Civil Rights and Civil Liberties and shut down any internal accountability mechanisms. So then that leaves individual lawyers and advocates to try and check. But what is about to happen, and I can't exaggerate this enough, is that this system that was already broken, that was already chaotic and poorly designed to protect basic human rights, is about to exponentially expand. And so you will see detention facilities, much like the so-called alligator Alcatraz. You will see more very violent imagery like horses and military personnel in communities. What people saw in LA is the beginning, and it is what is coming to every community in a very short amount of time, because DHS has never had this level of resources. So it is time to panic in that sense that ultimately this is going to be enormously disruptive to Americans and any immigrant communities in where they live, right? And I think we forget that this system, many of these things are in the law as they are. And while every Democrat may have voted against the president's bill, voting against it is not enough now. They need to be proposing alternatives, and they need to be helping the public understand what is to come, because what is to come is something our country has not seen yet.